I was already standing in my head when he said it. Crystal clinked laughter, swelled me father, smiled the smile he practiced in mirrors, the one that said he'd won something again. Only the children who made me proud are truly mine. Applause chairs scraped, someone whooped. Then he turned to Minot, cruel worse casual. You can leave. I felt the room tilt, the chandeliers seemed to breathe me name, sat heavy in my throat. Unseedy stood slowly, because dignity takes time, because I had rehearsed this moment without knowing it. And then my husband stood too. That's when the air learned a new shape. I used to believe loyalty was inherited, that love came stamped with last names and Sunday dinner. Met my father as a god, first tall, certain, adored. He taught me numbers before words, balance sheets before bedtime story said. Pride was earned, he believed. Him he married a man who believed in quiet. Strength, a man who listened. The betrayal didn't arrive all at once. It never does. It arrives as Drapsa paused too long, a signature missing in account statement. With a smiley explanation, accounting error. He said, you worry too much. I worried anyway. I noticed my projects being reassigned me ideas, wearing other people's suitsy, noticed my siblings' mortgages disappear while my calls went unanswered. Noticed how my father stopped using my name in public, replacing it with silence. Then came the messagenot, meant for Mia forwarded email, chain me father's instructions to the board, my board, about consolidating family exposure, about moving assets away from liabilities. My name sat there, neat and lethal, underlined. Liability. I didn't cry, save the filet, forwarded it to my husband, didn't ask questions, she asked what I wanted. I wanted time. I watched he learn the cadence of theft, dressed as tradition, the shell companies, with biblical names, the trust, restructured in a jurisdiction that loved secrets, the amended will, signed with a hand that taught me how to hold a pen. I planned like I was raised to calm methodically, hired an auditor my father had once fired, found a lawyer who loved puzzles and hated bullies. I documented everything, dates, times, intent. I let them think I was small. The dinner invitation arrived embossed and thick, retirement of victory. Lap me name was on the card, no +1, and my husband smiled when I told him. He said, I'll wear the blue suit. He said, I'll stand when you do. I didn't tell him the whole plan. He didn't need to, knew where to place his feet. Back to the room, back to the glass in my father's hand, back to the word leave. My husband stood beside Mehe, adjusted his cufflinks. She looked at my father the way surgeons look at x-rays, already knowing where to cut. Before she goes, he said, voice level, there's something everyone here should hear. Murmurs. Me sister's smile froze, me brother's laugh died mid-breath. My husband tapped his phone. The speakers woke. My father's voice filled the room, confident, familiar. Move the remaining shares before the quarter closes. She won't contest, she never does. Silence sharpened. Another clap aboard, Kala laugh. Blood doesn't mean ownership, right does. Faces drained, glasses lowered, the room leaned toward truth like it might bite. My husband didn't stop there. He never does anything, halfway past folders down the tabs mark exhibits numbered. Independent audit, he said, court filings filed this morning. My father opened his mouth. No sound came out for the first time in my life. He looked small, not diminished, exposed. I felt something loosen, not joy, alignment. I spoke then, quiet enough to make them lean in. You taught me to prepare, I said. You taught me to finish. I slid my own glass forward, inside it a folded paper, the will, real one signed years ago, before the edits, before the theft. Me father had forgotten one thing. He'd once trusted me with the safe. You can leave, I said to him. The words fit better in my mouth. Security moved chairs, scraped. Me siblings stared at the table like it might forgive them. Applause did not come this time. It never does when truth stands up. After, in the quiet, I didn't feel triumphant, felt precise. Justice isn't loud, it clicks into place. My husband squeezed my hand once he didn't look at me. He didn't need toe walked out together, not hurried, not chased the doors closed behind us like a chapter that knew when to end. Later, alone, I poured a drink and listened to my thoughts. Subtle betrayal teaches you where the edges are revenge, done right, teaches you restraint. I didn't take his pride, he took his leverage. Didn't break him, he returned him to the truth. I am truly mine.